Alright guys, thanks for checking in on Stormtopia.com and Stormtopia.com Facebook page. We're going to have our daily weather update right now. Current 500 millibar pattern showing warm air, really a nice, tranquil, and beautiful day across the eastern U.S. Another warm ridge back into the western U.S. However, we've got cold air flowing into the Pacific Northwest, flowing into the Intermountain West, and because of that, we do have now a trough making its way down into the central U.S. Here you can see it on the 500 millibar pattern. Alright, this map shows a little better. And along that trough, we do have a short wave riding, and that short wave is the Midwest storm that we've now been talking about for like a week now. And here you can see the radars. Quite a storm with heavy snow spreading back up into Minnesota, now changing from rain to snow. In Wisconsin, we've got a couple wraparound bands now coming back into Iowa, but they're light. Now here, and you can zoom in here, you can see how we've actually got some pretty heavy banding going on, especially in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. This video is being recorded as of 8:25 a.m. Eastern Time, and St. Paul already has 5 or 6 inches on the ground. They could easily be getting at least 8 or 10 inches by the time the storm is done. A pretty significant event for them, and some folks could be seeing over a foot. And let's go right over to the models now. Essentially, the general thinking of the storm hasn't changed, and I wanted to prove that to you by, instead of starting with the radars, I start with the 500 millibar pattern, which is essentially the big picture. Now here you can see, again, snow banding back into Minnesota, back into Wisconsin, through the night tonight. By Sunday morning, the storm's going to be weakening over Lake Superior, but there's still going to be light to moderate banding coming back into northeast Ohio, back into the eastern Minnesota, the arrowhead of Minnesota. Seems like AccuWeather, other weather sources are ignoring the arrowhead of Minnesota, but I think as the low pressure center spreads up into Lake Superior, on the west side of it, there will be at least some snow for towns like Duluth and even International Falls and areas further west. Now, by later Sunday, essentially the storm is gone, and what's essentially going on here is we do have a new energy digging in here across the southern U.S. as the new storm is trying to develop, as we've got cool air back into here. So it's a new storm riding along the trough. This time it's along the east coast, and this gets everybody hyped up because it's a storm along the east coast. So therefore, with the cold air across the northwest, or excuse me, the Midwest, we get excited about snow. I don't think it'll snow right now, to be honest. It looks like this thing is going to be coming out of the tropics, so it's going to be a warm core, and just a purely tropical influence to it, which is why it should be rain. Heavy rain will be spreading back up into the mid-south and then into the Ohio Valley, and then up the Appalachians and into the East Coast through late to mid-week next week. The debate is whether it's going to be just a nasty rainstorm and spreading up the Appalachians as an inland runner, or possibly even offshore as a coastal storm, which would be more of a threat because we do have, of course, high pressure back into here, and that would cause a big brouhaha with a coastal storm along the east coast. But right now, the models have been showing for a couple days now an inland runner. Not that that won't change, but that just seems to be the well-defined pattern. Anyway, behind this is when things get interesting because we're going to have an Alberta clipper coming in, very cold air out of Canada. And this Alberta clipper is going to just be riding along that. So late week, it's definitely possible that these areas get an Alberta clipper, low pressure system riding through. Probably wouldn't be very heavy rain. But look what the GFS tries to do here. This is very interesting. Brings it through here as an Alberta clipper. And this is not so crazy that it couldn't happen. And there's enough cold air that it develops as a pretty strong low pressure center offshore with heavy bands sweeping back into southern New England. Probably won't happen. What will probably happen is the low pressure center makes its way through there as a just an Alberta clipper, but that coastal implication we can certainly not ignore. But behind it, it's definitely going to be getting warm, folks. It's just this pattern of rainstorm, cold, snow, warm that should keep us going through Thanksgiving, and then maybe after December 5th into the longer range, we could be looking at a pattern which favors less warm-ups, as I think these warm-ups across the U.S. are going to be getting more and more scarce. Alright guys, that's it for now. Thank you for checking in on Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. I hope you enjoyed this video forecast. Please spread the word about our website, and have a great day.